Hello again. It's Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit here on MAVTV, talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week, and we are so glad that you have joined us. Ashley Stremme and Steve Post here, and we're going to talk a little Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour racing with Blake Hahn. Of course, you can catch the ASCS National Tour right here on MAVTV all year long. Ashley Stremme alongside, and Ashley, of course, you're a Port Royal girl, hometown. I know you were not there, but you and I were probably the only two people on the planet that were not there. What a big crowd at the Tusky 50.
Yes, we obviously turned into Speed's shift to watch the Tuscarora 50, and it was absolutely incredible seeing those grandstands completely sold out, and the infield just slammed packed with people. Absolutely awesome.
Looks like they all had a good time, too, from all accounts.
Yes.
I
saw the aftermath, and beer cans for days.
Oh my gosh, yeah, imagine the aluminum recycling thing. We need to maybe we'll get in on that. Ashley and Steve's aluminum recycling. We'll just go to the races at Port Royal and Beer Hill, and we'll have a whole recycling business, yeah. Don't worry, just throw them on the ground. We'll get them Monday morning. Yeah, I like that. I had a chance. I got to see our friends with the Carolina Sprint Tour. Okay, a year ago on this channel, this show, we did the McLean family.
Yes.
We talked to Brandon and Jacob McLean and their daddy. Okay, which is he's just
good
the greatest
family.
guy. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Brandon McLean has been racing for 16 years, and Saturday night he got that career first win. I'm just glad I was there.
I'm glad you got to see it. You know, we talk about grassroots all the time, and I think the McLean family really embodies that in more ways than one. So awesome to see him finally
Great stuff, really is. Great sprint car racing all across the country, including back to Port Royal Speedway, where here it is. This is Friday night. This is the night before the 50, okay? It's on Speed Shift TV, the Ollie's Bargain Outlet, All-Star Circuit of Champions, okay? It is Blake Anderson and Earl Hoon with the call. It's, how about that guy from Washington with a crew chief from North Carolina
who lived in Knoxville all
this year and now is in Pennsylvania. Oh my gosh, it's all confusing, but it's Trey Starks and it's our Dryden Diesel all death-defying move of the week.
And now for the Dryden death-defying move of the week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
Starks found all sorts of momentum. Starks to the inside, racing for the lead. Trey Starks slide job. He's got the lead in turn 4. McFadden nearly into the tail, take nowhere to go.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Death, the official death of the World of Outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
It is Wing Nation by Sage Fruit here on MAVTV. So much talent in our sport. And it doesn't matter where we go, there's young talent and there's old talent. And what's so much fun about it is when they get together, they put on some great racing for us. And that's certainly the case in the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour. Joining us, one of the younger guys racing on the tour. And does a really good job. Picked up a couple wins this year and is certainly in the hunt every time they roll out on the speedway. Joins us on the Hercules Tire Hotline. Blake Hahn is on the line. Hello, Blake. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hey, how you guys doing?
We are doing well. I guess a fair question as far as that goes. 2019, how are you doing?
Oh, pretty good. Not a bad season. We'd always like to improve a little bit, but it's been pretty good so far. We've been more consistent this year, and that was our goal, and we're pretty happy with it.
Obviously, 4 wins this year with the Lucas Oil ASCS, one just a few weeks ago. How does that kind of roll into this big weekend we have coming up with the Hockett-McMillan Memorial Race this weekend?
Oh, it's definitely some good momentum. Anytime we can pick up some wins, it definitely helps the team. But rolling into the end of the season like this way, it definitely helps. And having a three nights at Lucas Oil is a big show for us. So going into that with a good win is definitely something we're looking forward to. And anytime we can go to Lucas Oil too, we're looking forward to that. And it's just a fun facility, fun venue, and we really enjoy it.
It really is. It's a great, great state-of-the-art facility. That's the Hockett McMillan Memorial. It's coming up, starts Thursday night, and you can watch it. It'll be, I believe, captured on Lucas Oil or MAVTV, the Lucas Oil app. I think Racing Boys, of course, doing it. Blake, I want to go back to something that you mentioned. You worked this year to get consistency. What types of things do you work on to get consistency in a racing program?
Well, at first, you just got to finish races is being consistent to begin with. But, that just goes back to maintenance on the car. It's just that's part of it. You got to make sure nothing falls off the car, nothing breaks. But, once you get past that part of it, then you really got to focus on picking up top 10s. And as soon as you can do that, the next step is top 5s. And, to be able to compete for the championship, you really almost have to finish on the podium every night, it seems like, to be up there with the points, and be able to do that, it's pretty tough, with what we've got. You just got to make sure you're really fast every night, every time you hit the track. Doesn't really matter where you started. If you're at the back of a heat race or the front, you've got to be fast and pass guys to be towards the front of the A feature. The way our format is, and how stout our competition is. If you're not starting towards the first 3 rows of the A feature, it makes it pretty difficult to get up there with, Sam being out there and a lot of veterans. Roger Crockett and John Carney. They've been around for a while, and if you're not up there towards the front with those guys, it makes it hard, and you got to really work for it. But if you can kind of start your night off good in a heat race and get a pretty good starting spot in the A feature, it makes it a lot more easier come for the A feature, and a lot easier on driver when you start towards the front. You don't have to work yourself too hard, and makes it a lot easier to be more consistent when you start towards the front.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So much goes into it. That's the thing.
It really, really does. And Blake, you mentioned it. You have to finish on the podium if you want to be in those top, in the contention for the championship. You've been running the ASCS Tour for several years now, and each year it seems like you're picking up another spot every single year. Obviously still chasing Sam Haverty Jr., like you said. But why do you love the ASCS Tour so much?
Well, that's what I grew up around. I grew up at Creek County Speedway, and I see the ASCS guys come here all the time. I could see the regional drivers come, and then I could tell when the national drivers come. And I grew up running micros, so growing up, that's something I wanted to do was drive a sprint car, and I really wanted to be able to do it and travel and race and national tour. And lucky enough we were able to do that, and that's something I just always wanted to do. And we're here now, and which is kind of really unbelievable to think that we were able to do this. This is our 6th year now, and just kind of looking back on it, it doesn't really seem that real that we've been doing it this long. But it's just my life. It's all I've really wanted to do. Is all I started racing when I was 8, and I've been lucky enough to not miss a summer of racing since then. So that's all I really know.
I'd say that's good. 6 years. Gosh, that time does fly. That is for sure. One of the things, when I first got involved with Wing Nation, when we first started this show back 9 years ago, one of the things I struggled understanding was the ASCS format, as far as you had the national tour and then you had regional tours. Well, all of a sudden it kind of came into clear light. You have the World of Outlaws, and you have Ohio, and you have Pennsylvania, and you have California, and you have the Midwest and everything, and that's really what it is. I set that up with the ASCS, with the regional tours. Blake, how challenging is it to roll into some of these regions knowing that there's guys in there, first off, that are great drivers, that have great teams, that have the home track advantage at some of these places? What's the big challenge, and how challenging is that when you travel around with the national tour, tangling with all these regional racers?
Well, it is kind of tough, but luckily we've been to the same places, been able to go to Sketch for a few years now. And the first year we went there, it's pretty tough. Jason Solwald is definitely a hard hitter up there, and a bunch of other local guys up there, Colton Heath and a few others. And, they put it on us the first year, but, we went back the second year and kind of had a little bit of a notebook to go back onto. And that next year, the ASCS guys really put it on them. But, like you said, there's really good competition pretty much everywhere you go, and it's pretty neat to be able to travel and go to different places and compete with other people, and know that when you're going to other places, you gotta beat those local guys too. And it's cool to be able to compete with those guys and know that we've got a pretty solid field when we go to those awesome locations like Washington, and when we get to make it out all the way to Pennsylvania and other places like that too.
It is. It's a phenomenal tour, and I've actually been to some of the regional races. I've been to the national tour races, but some of these regions, folks, put it on a great show. I mean, so I understand it's a regional tour, but I'm telling you, this ASCS national tour or the regional tour, some great races. All right, we do need to step away. Blake, hang in there. Everyone else, hang in there with us. More Wing Nation is coming up in just a moment. Want to remind you, though, you can win a set of Hercules tires. That's right. Go to HerculesTires.com/MRN, and maybe you can be our September set of tire winners. More with Blake Hahn in just a moment.
Do a little shopping? Well, I heard an apple a day keeps the doctor away, and 10 keeps the competition away. I got you a Granny Smith, seeing you're a little sour.
From sweet to tart and everything in between, Sage Fruit supplies every variety of apple that shoppers may be looking for. For over 3 generations, they've been providing customers with only the best apples, pears, and cherries that Washington has to offer.
You're finally taking my advice.
Well, something like that. I figured out how to get my 10 apples in a day. Sage Fruit, it's the choice of champions.
It is Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit. So glad you joined us. We're also so glad that Blake Hahn joins us, one of the great racers on the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour. And Blake, you are, one of the things Ashley and I like to do is we like to go through your social media and find out what you're doing off the racetrack. You make it very difficult for us because all you think about is a race car.
And his girlfriend. Those are the two things that I found on social media.
So you found a girl. Well,
and honestly, Blake, it's been a while since you've posted about her, so I hope she's still around because she's super cute, by the way.
There we go.
Yeah, she is.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
You know, with how busy we are with racing, that's pretty much all we do is, we race, and when I'm not racing, we try to spend a little time out and do a little vacation and just hanging out at the house. I've got 10 acres not too far from Creek County Speedway, and, with having that, we stay pretty busy and have a good time taking care of our land and having fun racing too.
That's a risky move by Ashley, asking about a girlfriend like that. Oh my gosh!
She's cute. I didn't want her
I'm
to
not
just
saying she's not cute
she
or
likes
anything.
racing. It seems
I'm not saying she's not cute. I'm saying it's always risky to ask about that. Now,
It's true.
one of the things I did see, Blake, that you did though, when you guys went to Montana, our buddy Scott Traylor put together a video, and you guys went whitewater rafting. Now, how much fun was that?
Oh man, that was awesome. Yeah, a group of us, we had a little off week there. We had a time to go explore Montana, and they planned a little trip down to go some whitewater rafting. Me and my girlfriend and our crew guys, and like you said, Scott Traylor and Harley White and her boyfriend went down there along with Jordan Mallett and his wife. And it was a pretty good little day trip. Went down there and hung out and did some whitewater rafting, and actually had a pretty entertaining day. He said my girlfriend and then Harley White's boyfriend, they both actually fell in the water while we were doing it. So they had a pretty eventful time, and Harley's boyfriend had a GoPro, so he had some pretty good footage of the whole thing, and it was a good little day, though.
That's great.
Nothing like getting launched off the raft when you're That's awesome. Blake, you talked about land. So are we talking farmland? Are we talking forest that we're going, side by side and four-wheeling in?
Yeah, not a whole lot of farmland, pretty much some wooded area, but we got some cleared out, so we got to take care of that. But pretty much wooded. We're trying to get some trails up through there. That way we can kind of go up through there, like you said, with some side by sides and stuff.
All right, now I'm going to go back to the raft. Okay, you bounce back to the land, but not specifically the raft. Okay, you're traveling around the country, Blake. Okay, and you're talking about you're hanging out with Jordan Mallett and Harley White, and you guys and gals, you travel around, and you hang out with each other. How difficult is that when you have a dust-up or a little problem with one of your competitors? Do you stay at another motel? Do you park at a different Walmart? I mean, have you ever had a situation like that where it's just you needed a little time away from somebody that you maybe traditionally spend more time with?
Oh, yeah. It happens, but, we're all pretty much a big family out there. When we travel and we spend 6 weeks out on the road, which is a lot for us. We don't really we can come back throughout the week typically, so we hang out with everybody, but stuff like that happens. But it kind of lasts about a week or so, and then everybody gets over it. They understand it's part of it, and typically it's either settled on the track or off the track. And I don't think anybody really holds a lot of grudges out there on the road anymore.
That's neat.
Well, the dust-ups in our toter homes, I just can't get away, unfortunately. Anyhow, Blake, I want to kind of, as I was scrolling through your social media, obviously the Chili Bowl came up, and I want to talk briefly about that because you really bite off a lot at the Chili Bowl between the midget, the outlaws, the wings, the wingless. Is that not a crazy time? I mean, it's Chili Bowl. It's crazy to begin with, but you're jumping across all the margins of racing there. Is it not crazy for you?
Yeah, it's a pretty hectic time of the year for me, but it's one I enjoy too. You know, I get to see a lot of people I don't really see throughout the year with being the micro stuff at the shootout. You know, I get to see a lot of my friends that I used to grow up with racing micros, which is really cool for me, and I get to race with a lot of them too. And then, you know, I get to see my cousin racing there too, and you know, it's a big family deal. A lot of people come out throughout the deal, but it's pretty hectic. You know, I've been running 5 or 6 classes at the shootout, which gets pretty busy, but it's fun. You know, I get a little extra laps running the shootout that away for Chili Bowl, and I think it kind of prepares us a little bit for Chili Bowl with the midget. But you know, I really wouldn't trade it for anything. It's only about 2 or 3 miles from my shop, so it's pretty enjoyable. You know, we don't have to go too far out of our way for the midget stuff. You know, and just bring up the trailer, which isn't too far of a haul from there. And you know, like I said, you know, a bunch of my family's out there, so it's pretty fun time. You know, we're out there for pretty much 3 weeks of the month, and we get to hang out with our friends and family the whole time, so it's pretty fun.
Good times indeed. One of the other things you mentioned, your midget car. You've been running that a fair amount. In between your Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour races, you jump into a midget car when you have an off weekend, or maybe find yourself not running the wing car. Do you like running the midget car? How different is it from running the 360 wing sprint car?
Oh, you know, it's completely different, but you know, thankfully for Toyota, you know, they allow us to have an engine where we can go out and run a few races throughout the year, and you know, with running the Chili Bowl, you know, you can't just go there and run one time and be able to win the Chili Bowl. And that's something I really want to do, is I want to be able to take home the driller from the Chili Bowl. We picked up some from the shootout, but, you know, the Chili Bowl is it's a different deal there. But, you know, thankfully they've helped us out where we can kind of step up our midget program and kind of go out throughout the year and run some other places. And, you know, it really does help me, and not only throughout the year for the Chili Bowl, but it also helps for the sprint car too. You know, teaches me some things I really wouldn't kind of try to do on a wing car, but it also helps me too. And then you know, I catch myself in situations in the midget where I think some wing driving has also taught me and helped me in some of those spots.
You're here. I'm with you on that. That is great. Blake, I'm telling you, we love watching you wheel. Whatever it is you climb behind the wheel of, we certainly enjoy it. We appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us here today on Wing Nation.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
There we go. That is Blake Hahn, driver in the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour. Again, Lucas Oil Raceway this coming weekend, Thursday through Saturday. It is the McMillan Hockett Memorial, Jesse Hockett and Daniel McMillan, in memory of them. And one of the big races, big purse, big prize money, everything else. So great stuff for the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour. All right, we do need to step away. Before we do that, though, your Hercules Tires set of tires. That's right. Go to HerculesTires.com/MRN and win a set of tires. We're giving them away every month this year. Our Tweet Your Seats tweets of the week are coming up next.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading protection to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
We're back. You're watching Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit. It is your time of the week. That's right. It's time for the Tweet Your Seats tweets of the week. And we're kicking it off with the Tuscarora 50. That's right. Port Royal Speedway. Holy Toledo's. Woo. Does Pennsylvania blow it up or what when it comes to the tweets? Mark, DMC, K-Rob, Chatty Patty, Garrett, Jolene, Danielle, Emily, Rich, Mark, and Dave. And kudos to you, Emily, from sending one in from the Ferris wheel.
Yes. How about that? Isn't that great?
Really cool stuff. We talked about it earlier. The night before the 50, Ollie's Bargain Outlet All-Star Circuit of Champions. Your winner was Trey Starks, his second career All-Star win, followed by James McFadden and Brian Brown. Saturday, the 52nd annual Tuscarora 50, paying 52's big ones to win. Your winner was Aaron Wright, so his 12th All-Star win this year and his biggest of his career. victory. He had a really cool emotional victory
Yes, he
lane
did.
speech there. And he outdueled Lance DeWeese for the win. But I do want to shout out to Anthony Macri
Yes.
because I think if Anthony would have had maybe 2 more laps, there would
was
have been
rolling.
a good battle for the win.
It was
But
great stuff. Port Royal never looked better. We say that all the time, though,
Right.
until the next time when it never looked better. So the All-Stars were at Bedford on Thursday night. Rich, Jay, and Jeff chime in with us. Aaron Reitzel won this one. This was only his 11th win of the season.
Only.
Of course, he backed it up. But Brian Brown was second, and James McFadden finished third. Nate?
Silver Dollar Speedway. Tweets come from Racer55, Paul, Brian, and Michael. Of course, it was Gold Cup weekend
Yes.
at Silver Dollar. Friday, Brad Sweet, Tim Kading, and Shane Golobic. Saturday, someone we haven't heard a lot of.
Yes.
Darren Pittman finally back on top. Glad to see that with Brad Sweet and Logan Schuchart finishing off the podium.
Pittman has had this weird year. He won
has.
2 at the Volusia. He won like the first 2 at Volusia, and we're like, man, he's winning. And then he didn't win again until like a couple weeks ago. Now he's won 2 here.
Right.
He's been fast.
Yes,
he's been good.
yes.
But it was good to see him back in victory lane. Eagle Raceway, the Nebraska Cup. Tweets from Scott and Jared. It was Tyler Druk picking up the win. 2017 track champion out there over Jason Martin and Don Drought Jr.
Cedar Lake Speedway. Love this place. I
Yes.
need to get back there. Tweet comes from Glass. Saturday, it was the Jerry Reichert Memorial, the IRA bumper-to-bumper sprints. 7th win of the season. No surprise here. Bill Baylog picks up the win, followed by Jake Blackhurst and Jeremy Schultz.
Glad to see Jake Blackhurst back. He had a big crash at Joliet a couple about 6 weeks ago, and good to see him back at the track running up front. River City Speedway, Dan the Flagman and River City's himself. Winner was Austin Pierce, who started 8th over Chris Ranton and Jade Hastings, but it sounds like a lot of drama. We got a wadded up race car and people fighting on the racetrack, so it was big, but a big time up at River City's best dirt track is what their Twitter account is, and love those guys and gals up there.
And you had a good time.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
Lakeview Motor Speedway?
Oh, you kidding me? Fun times in the Carolinas. Yeah, exactly. Now, the race director, he goes with a white jacket and a tie. Okay, yes,
okay.
he does. Yeah, he goes, he's an Indy geek, he says, and that's what the U Flagger wore at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Oh.
So he does this. The coolest thing, okay, we talked about this a little bit at the top, but the McLean brothers, Jake and Brandon, okay, their dad, Doug, and is one of the few men in the world I think I can describe just as sweet. He is a sweet,
Yes, he
kind
is.
man, just a sweet man. He looked at me after that race, and he said, I swear, the prettiest thing I ever saw was that white flag. I'm like, the prettiest thing I ever saw was the white flag. Well, that was until the checkered flag came out. But that's a father and the pride and his son. And that's what's going on with all the racers. But I had a blast up at Carolina Speedway. But yeah, prettiest thing I ever saw, I think, was that white flag coming out. So,
And I can hear him
yeah,
saying
exactly.
that.
It's just so kind and so calm
Yes.
and just great people. Great people running sprint cars all over the country and great people tweeting your seats.
right.
Keep them coming. And maybe we'll play yours back next week here on MAVTV.
Do a little shopping?
Well, I heard an apple a day keeps the doctor away, and 10 keeps the competition away. I got you a Granny Smith, seeing you're a little sour.
From sweet to tart and everything in between, Sage Fruit supplies every variety of apple that shoppers may be looking for. For over 3 generations, they've been providing customers with only the best apples, pears, and cherries that Washington has to offer.
You're finally taking my advice.
Well, something like that. I figured out how to get my 10 apples in a day. Sage Fruit, it's the choice of champions.
The September month of money continues on up in Pennsylvania, and this time it shifts up Highway 35 from Port Royal
Yes.
to Selinsgrove. $20,000 to win Jim Nace Memorial 37th Annual National Open, presented by Red Robin. Jim Nace, the only 5-time track champ there at Selinsgrove. You have some memories of Jim Nace.
Yeah, Jim and my dad actually used to race mini sprints together way back before the 410 sprint cars,
Wow.
sprint car days. Yeah, and so I grew up with him and his family and his daughter Jamie and I. We used to play sports together growing up, so know the Nace family very well. Jim was an amazing man.
Amazing man and an amazing tribute race to him. So this is really, really neat. Now, the National Open's been going on for 37 years. Okay, Fred Raymer's a 5-time winner of this one. Greg Hodnett, Todd Schaefer, 4-time winners. Okay, Pat Cannon, Maynard Yinks, Lance DeWeese, 3. Don Kreitz Jr., Lucas Wolf, they're 2-time winners of this race. Man, this is a who's race.
Indeed.
This really is. Listen to this list. Dave Blaney, Keith Kaufman, Doug Wolfgang, Sammy Swindell, Johnny Mackison, Stevie Smith, Chad Layton, Danny Dietrich, and Brian Brown are also winners. So good stuff. Selinsgrove is where the action is in Pennsylvania this weekend. Next week, it moves to Lincoln for the $20,000 Dirt Classic. So The month of money in Pennsylvania continues, but it doesn't matter where you are. Get out to your local sprint car track this weekend. Hey, thanks to Blake Hahn for joining us, but more important than all of that, thank you for joining us this week here on Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit.